As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
Easy one. Had to go with Cade Horton, number 7 overall in the Major League Baseball draft to the Cubs. This is fantastic for him. Maybe not so fantastic for OU fans that were hoping maybe he would be able to stick around. This is probably going to come with quite a bit of money up front, and my guess is Cade Horton's going to be headed to the majors, but it's awesome for him. Number 7 to the Cubs. With what he did closing the end of the year, it's not a surprise or a shock to me at all. Now, I was scrolling through some of the comments whenever the announcement came, and it looks like some Cubs fans are a little upset. They're basically just looking at his stats through the season and saying that he's not very good. But anyone that watched him at the end of the year knows that coming off of an injury, it took him a while in the season before he had his full bag of tricks. And like his last 4 starts were money. Once he had that fastball, slider, and curve working, he was almost impossible to hit. So I'm excited for him. Can't wait to see him develop, and hopefully he's up playing with the Cubs before no time.
Yeah, and remember when OU lost in the championship series? I'm pretty sure you made Cade Horton your winner then, even because you're like, he is going to make a ton of money. You nailed it, Ted.
He's money. He's big dude. He's got a great arm, and he's had the Tommy John surgery, and he's worked his way back from that really well. He's got great stuff, and my guess is it's only going to continue to improve.
Yeah, I'm looking at I wonder what the pick value is, right?
Yeah,
the baseball, because remember, there's the bonus pool and the pick. Baseball's complicated, man.
Yeah, it's different. It's not all.
This says $5.7 million.
Right. Now, here's the interesting thing about the baseball draft. He doesn't have to go. He can still stay, even though he was drafted at number 7. I don't think that's going to happen, but it can happen. So it's just a different animal than all the other drafts that we're used to. $5 million, $6 million bucks. He's gone, and proud of the guy. He deserves it.
What would friend of the podcast Eddie Radosevich do if Cade Horton said, "No thanks, I don't want to be a Cub"? Because I haven't checked in on Eddie since this happened, right? Because it happened right before we started recording the podcast. I assume Eddie is overjoyed, but I believe his soul would be crushed if Horton was like, no thanks.
I don't know. Yeah, probably, but another run at OU.
It's a good point.
Make it feel a lot better.
That's a good point. You're right. Maybe he'd be happier if I don't know.
It's almost one of those things where it's your team. The last thing you want your team to do is like ruin a great player from your school. It's like you almost don't want those two worlds to mesh at all.
I don't know if there are any Cubs fans that listen to this podcast, but I like to remind Cubs fans, I went to Game 6 and Game 7 of the World Series when they played Cleveland in Cleveland. I just signed with the Browns, wore a Thunder hat and an OU t-shirt to both games.
Nice.
Somebody was like, what are you? I was like, I'm just here for the game, man. I'm not really cheering for anybody.
That's funny.
Diehard baseball people do not like me when I tell that story. Someone that cared could have had that ticket. Well, sorry, man.
Well, someone from the wrong group could have had that ticket. So,
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. All right. Who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
I had to go with Rory McIlroy. Unbelievable.
Your guy.
I hate to admit this. I quit watching. I was like, he's got this thing wrapped up. He's cruising. Everyone else is just, kind of beating the thing around. And I missed like one of the greatest closes. What, 30 on the back by Cam Smith? You know, the mullet flapping in the breeze. You could even see his mustache moving around in the wind, and somehow shoots a 30. Unbelievable stuff. I felt horrible for Rory that he wasn't able to pull that off.
He just couldn't make a putt.
Yeah.
And meanwhile,
pressure. It's like the pressure, like, because he was just cruising all weekend, and then like here it comes, and he just couldn't make a putt, man.
And it wasn't even like he didn't make any horrible errors or anything. He just two-putted everything.
Yeah. Yep. Crazy. That is an unbelievable close to a championship to win the thing.
I think maybe the most underrated part about it, it's been, 8 years since Rory won a major? I think that's right.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. And
never won the Open.
And Rory's become kind of the face of the PGA Tour. Now, of course, Tiger's Tiger, but he's been very outspoken with everything. And it's like, it feels like his fan base has really grown over the last couple months. And it felt like everyone, just watching it on TV, but it just felt like everyone was pulling for Rory. And for Cam Smith to kind of know all of that's going on and to not care and to go just, I mean, absolutely scorched earth on the back. Dude, the onions that takes, I mean, that was phenomenal, man. I mean, absolutely phenomenal golf. Like all the circumstances, like it's Rory, he's Irish. This is kind of that area of the world's tournament. And Cam Smith just from Australia, he's like, who cares? I'm gonna go win. Unbelievable, man.
Unbelievable. What was it? 5 straight 30s. And when you get that hot and everyone's scoreboard watching as they're closing in, and you got to think that Rory felt that a little bit. And like you said, it's not like he fell apart. It's not like he, like the Masters he had that one year, right? Whenever he totally fell apart. There was nothing like that.
It's not like he had made some tragic mistake and took like an 8 on the hole or anything. No, it was just, he couldn't make a putt.
Yep. Crazy. But give it up to Cam Smith, the strangest looking golfer in history, pulls off one of the biggest is that the biggest comeback on a Sunday?
I know it's the lowest score in the final round for someone to win a major. I'm pretty sure I read that.
Yeah. Wild stuff.
And I hate to bring this up, but Rory ended up finishing 3rd because Cam Young eagled 18. By the way, I mean, that guy can drive the ball a mile.
Yeah.
But do you think that makes it feel any better for him? Where he's like, oh, I didn't get 2nd, I got 3rd, or do you think that makes it even worse?
That makes it worse.
Oh, it makes it way worse, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You go from counting the biggest, wasn't that the biggest payout ever for a winning purse?
I do not know, but it sounds right. He got 2.5 million, Cam Smith.
2.5 million. Which, Rory's at a place now where that's not like he's going to live and die off of that money, but still, man, it's like lost a lot of money there on the back to a couple of young guys.
The Cams.
To the Cams.
Which, this is stupid. This is so stupid. But I'm sitting there, I'm watching it. My son's name is Cam. Mm-hmm. I'm like, son, you're going to be the next Cam out there. This is going to be you, man. And he was all at ease, just sitting there watching it, just mouth wide open. I was like, yes, yes. Now, Cam Smith and Cam Young will probably still be golfing on the damn tour when my son makes it on there. Hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, Ted, he'll be out there.
Yeah, he can be paired with one of them one day and talk about his first Open experience.
Yes, that's exact. Great point.
Yep, there you go.
It's meant to be. All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first,
First Fidelity Bank is a full-service financial institution based in Oklahoma with tailored solutions for all your personal and business needs. Checking accounts, saving accounts, home loans, and much more. They do it all. Whether it's online banking from your computer or mobile banking from your phone, everything is stress-free with FFB. Making mobile deposits, paying bills online, and moving money to different accounts could not be easier. First Fidelity Bank provides free ATMs worldwide, making banking convenient wherever you are. They also give back to the community. FFB donates a total of more than $500,000 to local charities and educational foundations. Make your life easier and go bank with First Fidelity Bank. Visit ffb.com for more information.
And if you're a whiskey or bourbon drinker, stop what you're doing, head to your favorite liquor store and buy some Balcones products. You got to grab some of Balcones Lineage Single Malt Whiskey. It was just voted one of the top 20 whiskeys in the world by Whiskey Advocate, and you'll be shocked by how affordable it is. Also, you got to snag some of Balcones Baby Blue Corn Whiskey.
It's made from blue corn. That's the fancy corn.
And that is why it has won more than 25 awards. Last but certainly not least, you got to buy some of Balcones Pot Still Bourbon. Its big flavors make it the perfect bourbon to drink year-round. Remember, in 2012, Balcones Single Malt won the Best in Glass competition, beating brands like Johnny Walker and Macallan. This stuff is the real deal, people. If you love great whiskey and bourbon at a great price, then Balcones products are the only way to go. The whiskey may be made in Texas, but the owners, they're from Oklahoma. To find a liquor store that has it, visit balconesdistilling.com. All right, for my winner of the weekend, thought about going just with American speed, Ted. Little track and field talk. USA goes 1, 2, 3 in the 100 meters at the World Championships. Fred Curley wins it. Marvin Bracey gets second. Trayvon Brommel gets third. First time the red, white, and blue has gone 1, 2, 3 at the World since 1991. We're the best, baby. We're the fastest in the world. Rest of the world, suck it. Let's go.
Amazing. Was it Marvin Bracey that tackled Fred Curley after the race there, threw him to the ground? I was like, that's a bit much. Slow down there, gentlemen. But that was cool.
You can't tell
fun.
Those three guys to slow down, man. They're the fastest people in the world.
That's true. They were flying. That was a cool. I watched quite a bit of the World Championships today. That was fun.
That facility at Oregon.
It's crazy because it wasn't very long ago that it was like the old style, where it had like the old like stands on one side. It had like the pitched roof over the top of it. It had like a really cool old feel to it. And then now it's like, what is that? Looks like a spaceship.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I just looked at it. I was like, oh my gosh. Looked nice.
Very nice. Yes.
Looked expensive. Also thought about going with Juan Soto. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Turns down a 15-year, $440 million contract offer from the Nationals. Now he's only 23 years old, so we'll see. But man, how nice would it be? You're that good at baseball. He's probably I don't keep up with baseball that much, but at the worst, he's probably a top 5 player in baseball. To be able to be like, nah, 440 million, I'm good. I don't need that. I'm confident in myself. I'll make more.
I don't blame him. I wouldn't, from where I'm sitting now, looking back at whenever I was that age, I would not want that type of deal either.
No, I agree.
It feels like anyone that does like a 10-year deal, it's just human nature to ease off the gas, become complacent, and just get into like this comfort zone where you could still be good. I'm not saying that, but are you really your best? 3-year deal, man. That's what I'd be looking for. And maybe he doesn't maybe he wants to live somewhere else. Like, I don't know, but it's a ton of money. Probably smart though by him financially in the long run.
Yeah. I saw the price tag and I was like, he turned down what now?
That's amazing.
Yeah. But my winner of the weekend, justice has been served because the International Olympic Committee did the right thing, and Jim Thorpe is now the sole winner of the decathlon and pentathlon of the 1912 Olympics. And one of the reasons I made it my winner, it's just cool. Everyone that grows up here in the state of Oklahoma, Jim Thorpe's just like this larger than life, almost like superhero, right? And this was a big win for Oklahoma. It was a big win for Oklahomans, a big win for the Native American community. And it's just cool to see, man, that look at the IOC doing something right. How about that?
It's great. You know, Oklahoma history, whenever you're a kid, you learn about Jim Thorpe and all of the accolades and all of that. I go to the Jim Thorpe Award every year where they award the Jim Thorpe Award to the best defensive back in the country. And I learn something new every time I'm there, or every time I'm at something new about Jim Thorpe. So it's awesome. And this is really cool. Yeah. That $2 a game that you have written down here playing baseball.
$35 per week, playing minor league baseball is why he got stripped of his gold medals.
Here's my question though. I don't know who was awarded the gold, but are they pissed right now as the family for whoever it is? Are they pissed like, hey, what's going on here?
Well, the interesting part about it, because I was reading about it, because there were all kinds of articles here about it, and actually back in 1982, I believe they reinstated Thorpe and they made him the co-champion of the 1912 Olympics. So the other two guys, they were still considered like co-gold medalists. And yeah, I bet those families are pissed.
But here's the thing. Those guys already had their time. Like, they went around, did the gold medal circuit. Like, they made their money off of it. Now it goes back to where it belongs.
Yeah.
We all know, everyone I always talk to always talks about the 1912 Olympics, and everyone knows that Jim Thorpe really won that decathlon.
There's no doubt about it. That's what everyone we talked to about. I think it was the Stockholm Olympics in 1912. That's what everyone that was there says.
I think that's the year. This could be wrong, but I feel like he won the decathlon with two different shoes on. Like, whenever they got there, like, his shoes somehow didn't make the trip, so he had to like piece a couple of shoes together to wear throughout the decathlon.
Didn't that happen to someone at the combine? They ran a 40 in someone else's shoes.
I think so. Same thing. Same thing. No big deal.
But hey, the injustice has been corrected. Long live Jim Thorpe. Best athlete ever. That's what people say.
That's right.
All right, for my loser of the weekend. Thought about going. Kyrie Irving. He was supposed to play in one of those Drew League games, and I guess he just didn't show up.
Isn't that like his deal?
Yeah, I think maybe he was at some basketball camp. I don't know, but LeBron showed up, and that, I will say, that looked like a ton of fun to be at. Think what you want about LeBron. Yeah, he went 2 of 13 from 3, not great, but had 42 points. That atmosphere looked awesome, and the fact that LeBron James, who right now is currently the second best player ever, went and did that, I think that's cool as hell, man.
Yeah,
I really do.
It is. He's definitely been on the downturn recently, but do we get LeBron back to anywhere close to what we have seen in recent years, or is he that far on the back end of his career? Because gosh, the guy's got to be. I'm 40. Was he 38, 37?
Yeah.
So it's got to be more and more difficult every year. Now I have together what you would consider a full season in quite some time. It's been like 4 years since he played a full season. You got to go back to the 2018-19 year where he played a full year.
then won a title in the bubble.
Yep.
Has been hurt since. But I just thought it was cool, man.
That's
Going
awesome.
and playing in whatever you want to call it, pro-am league, high level pickup, whatever you want to call it. It was cool to see one of the best basketball players ever do that when he hadn't done it in a long time. I'm not calling him a loser. I just think we need to acknowledge Orlando Brown turned down a 6-year, $139 million offer from the Chiefs. I really hope he's playing this year on the tag. I really hope he has an awesome year, stays healthy, and gets even more money than that.
He probably will.
I hope he does. I will say.
What's the tag? The tag's got to be huge, though, for a tackle right now.
Yeah, because it's the average of the top 5, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, he's going to make a ton of money this year, but $140 million.
Woo. Well, hey, go ahead, bet on yourself, big guy. Love to see it.
Yeah. It sounded like Jamal Brown was pretty influential in that whole negotiation. So
they've been close, man. They've been close since he showed up at OU.
Yeah. So thought that was interesting. But my loser of the weekend, mascots. Yeah, mascots. Please tell me you saw the AJ Dillon video.
I did. At first, I was trying to figure out, I was like, who is that guy? Looked like a defensive lineman.
Just your average 250-pound running back. If you have not seen this video, just search AJ Dillon on Google or Twitter, wherever, you'll find it. The Kenosha Kingfish, a minor league baseball team in Wisconsin. They've got a mascot, Elvis, King Elvis. And I guess they had their celebrity softball thing on Saturday night. And somehow Green Bay Packers running back AJ Dillon was participating in a drill with the mascot. And this is also a question I have for you. What is that drill called?
I don't know.
Where you lay on you're laying on your back, your heads are like toward each other, and then you get up and one guy's got the ball and one guy's got to attack. What's that drill called? People call it the Oklahoma drill sometimes. That's wrong. That's not what the Oklahoma drill is. What is that drill called?
I don't know. We used to do it at OU, though, in our linebacker individual. If it was like one of those games that we performed poorly, we'd do that drill and drag each other to the ground. It was terrible. But yeah, I don't know what it's called. I think it's just called the drill where you're both laying head to head on your back. I don't think that's what it's called.
Get up and tackle that guy drill. But AJ Dillon, an NFL running back, a big NFL running back that has some of the biggest quads you'll ever see in your entire life, did it against this minor league baseball team's mascot. And I think it went much worse than the guy in the mascot suit thought it was going to go. Because I don't know if whoever was in the Elvis suit thought Dillon wasn't going to go hard or what, but the mascot did not look prepared. He was flat-footed, Ted. You can't be flat-footed when the ball carrier's coming at you like that. You got it. The feet got to stay moving. And he got absolutely truck stick. And it's one of my favorite videos of the summer.
Yeah, it's something. Now, here's what I'll tell Elvis. This went the best it could have gone for him. Because here's the thing. He had the mascot suit on, which made him getting up to his feet and getting turned around slow. So as he got up, kind of staggered to his feet and turned around, as soon as he turned around, AJ Dillon's shoulder was directly in his chest at full speed. All right. And he gave
and the mascot head
flies off. He gave zero resistance to AJ Dillon. Have you ever been like peeled back on and blindsided?
Yes.
It does. Well, I guess I shouldn't say ever, but you usually can't feel it at all. You just kind of get knocked off your feet and you go kind of like, you go zero gravity for a moment. You hit the ground.
It's
And
like, what the hell was that?
Right. What's worse is if you see it coming and you brace for impact, and then there's like somewhat of a firm collision there. Like, had he turned around and had a chance to brace himself, it would have hurt a hell of a lot worse. So even though it looks atrocious, it probably physically was the best way for it to go down.
There is a scene in the movie, I believe it's called Due Date, with Zach Galifianakis and Robert Downey Jr., and there's like a car wreck scene. It's basically the exact same premise of what you just walked through. It's like it didn't tense up. It's like,
yes. The tense up factor is real.
But really the reason that mascots are my loser of the weekend, this thing went viral. And it's got me concerned for other mascots, because now other organizations are going to try to get similar attention. And so I'm just worried about the mascot community as a whole, especially during this lull in the sports calendar. Some franchises could be trying to create some buzz by their mascots getting destroyed. That's all I'm saying. And I'm worried about the mascots, Ted, because AJ Dillon destroyed poor Elvis, and it was awesome for the Kenosha Kingfish. It's the most attention they've ever gotten. I'm worried about the other mascots.
Yeah, it's brutal. I can imagine there's a lot of those phone calls going on. Hey, did you see the AJ Dillon video? We've got an idea.
Exactly. Hey, just hear me out.
Fun fact. AJ Dillon was on the Boston College team when I called the what was it, the First Responders Bowl in Dallas against Boise State that lasted, I think, 7 minutes.
The one that got canceled?
Yeah, the one that got canceled.
That check still cash though, baby.
Check still cash.